This is Andrew Beinbrink with SportsForce. One of the common questions that we get from parents is, how do they know what level their son or daughter would be a right potential student athlete at the collegiate level? So obviously there's Division I, Division II, Division III, NAIA, and junior college level sports. And the advice that we give is a few things. Number one, we recommend talk to your high school coach and your club team coach. Most often your high school and club team coaches have been in this process for a long time, and they've coached many phenomenal athletes and have a fairly good idea of what potential caliber your son or daughter could play at, and are a great sounding board to get advice on this whole process. Some of the questions that we'd recommend parents and athletes asking their high school or club team coach is, where do you think I stack up in terms of what level I should look at, for playing beyond high school? Often they'll give you an idea of, hey, with your skill set and with your abilities, athletically and academically, I think, you should be a player that looks at a Division II or Division III school. Or I think based on where you're at physically, maybe junior college might be the best choice for you to start out with. And use your high school coach and your club or travel team coach as a great resource. Remember, they've often probably already been through the process with other athletes, as well as they are good evaluators because they see many other teams and many other players play. Another point to look at is look at the colleges that are out there and try to figure out when they're going to be playing in your local area or within driving distance where you can travel and go see them play in person. To try to look at what a college freshman, sophomore, junior, senior, how they're playing and what their skill set is like physically, and that'll give you a good idea. Visually, I think the athlete and the parents should go see a few local games to get an idea of the caliber of play. Another good thing is look at when some of these games are on college or any of the games that are being streamed over the internet. Again, if you can see the caliber of play that's being played at a collegiate level, so for instance, if you're watching a Division I football game, you can get a good idea of how good the quarterback is at USC or how good the running back is at University of Alabama. And understanding that, do you stack up with that level of, with the size and athletic ability of those type of players. And then maybe for a Division II, Division III program, either again, go in person to one of those games or look to see what games are on television or are being streamed over the web. Another thing to keep in mind is visit these teams' rosters on their websites. So go to, let's say, Colby College's lacrosse team or University of Maine's, girls basketball team or San Diego State's girls volleyball team, and look at the size as well as look at what rosters they have and what players are in what position and what type of academic and athletic awards they received in high school. Looking at the athletic awards, for instance, if you're looking at, let's say, University of Southern California's football team, literally almost all of those players are either All-State or All-Americans. And keeping in mind, if you're an all-league player out of your city or out of your county, likely you're not going to be a good fit for, let's say, a USC football. But you might look at another school, let's say a Division II school or an NAIA program or a Division III program, and often you'll find many of these players are all county or all league, and maybe that's a better fit for you, from that standpoint. Another key thing to look at in the recruiting process while you're visiting these different schools' websites is look at the roster, try to get an idea of their depth chart. And what we'll show you a screenshot of some different, college rosters that are out there and specifically what we're talking about as part of this process. But getting an idea of the depth chart that they have at their school and what players are going to be graduating soon. So looking at their seniors that are likely going to be graduating and figuring out what position you play and what they might be looking for is a really good idea to keep in mind. As part of this whole concept, we highly recommend that the parent and the student athlete have a conversation in your home about what level of interest your son or daughter has in playing college sports. And really hearing it from your son or daughter's mouth is critically important. Not only does it get everybody in your house on the same page, but then when you have that meeting with your high school and club team coach, you can also get them on the same page of what your son or daughter's interests are. And for those student athletes that are out there that are listening to this, it's time for you to start taking really ownership of your career and letting your parents be supportive in this process, but it's your career. You're going to be the one that, the college coaches are looking at to play on their teams, to help them put together the best possible team and really allow them to win and continue to develop their program. So we'll stress this over and over again. It's your career. Be proactive in this recruiting process and take ownership of your college sports goals.